In the year of 200X, a super robot named Mega Man was created. Dr. Light created Mega Man to stop the evil desires of Dr. Wiley. However, after his defeat, Dr. Wiley created 8 of his own robots to counter Mega Man. Hello and welcome to the continuation of our Mega Man series with Mega Man 2 and one of the coolest opening sequences ever. Alright, we're gonna start into Mega Man 2 here. I'm just gonna play on normal difficulty because why not? Not that good. We'll just start right from the beginning, of course. I think Mega Man 2 is... Mega Man 1 was not bad, but I think Mega Man 2 is a little more highly rated, a little higher tier compared to some of the other games in the series, and certainly compared to 1. Again, I don't think 1 is bad, I just think there are certain aspects that hadn't quite gotten down, and it was very much improved in this one, but we'll talk as we go through. So let's start with Flash Man here. The point system, which had been present in 1, is completely gone. Here in Flash Man's level, we don't technically have an ice level, but we kind of do, with the sliding floors here. Start by heading down here, and we're going to try and jump up. There we go. Unfortunately, we don't have an item that we would need to be able to get that extra life, but that's okay. We should still do fine. I'm going to take this guy out from behind and then continue onward. I would say overall, in my opinion, Mega Man 2 is probably easier than 1. I think some of the damage you take is decreased compared to the previous game, and probably it's a little more free, I would say, with health refills too, which of course both add up to an easier time. We're going to go through this area quickly because these little, maybe not, because I failed. Little worm things just annoy me. I don't know why they annoy me quite so much, but they just really do. We're going to try and stay on the outside here. Try to take this guy out before falling down. We can grab this health refill after. And then again, we want to stay here. And this is the one that matters the most. We want to be on the outside here, and then just have to be careful jumping across here. The width of these gaps varies, particularly this one at the end. I'm going to be careful there, but we'll get this first energy tank, which is a nice addition. I always forget that I can't keep going there. That requires a weapon from one of the robot masters that we don't have yet. You don't really need to do this, but it can be fun to just mess with this guy and kind of get an easy victory, clean, flawless victory. Or not. Maybe I just try and get a little too pretty with things. Luckily, it shouldn't matter. Flash Man is generally not particularly difficult, provided you're not doing anything ridiculous, which I might, we'll see. But he's fairly straightforward, other than his level being a little irregular at the bottom. Your Mega Buster does a pretty good amount of damage, and he doesn't use his special weapon too often, but it is that freezes time on us, as you just saw, and it's a technique that I think we will enjoy copying from him. But like I said, he is not particularly difficult by any means. I always liked this, the label that they use is F, which makes sense for Flash Man, but the weapon is called the Time Stopper. We also get a message from Dr. Light, who informs us that item number 3 is completed, and we will now be able to utilize it. They don't tell us what item 3 is, but that's alright. We'll be able to see that shortly. We do get to see ourselves with item 3 equipped. We turn kind of red. That really does nothing to show us what it's going to do, which is okay. So, Flash Man completed. We will move on to the second Robot Master, which is going to be Quick Man. I'm going to plan on doing 4 Robot Masters per video for the first 2, and then we'll see what we do in Wiley's Castle. But let's jump into Quick Man. Now this level does have, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, a gimmick that I don't particularly enjoy in games like this, or almost any game, which is an insta-death technique or gimmick or whatever. We're going to use item 3 here, which is this little wall climbing spider thing. Use it to get that extra life. And then we can use Flashman's weapon here. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to try to save it and do things without it. I'm just going to scoot right through here. Not waste any time there. And then we're going to jump down here where the insta-death begins. And we're going to do our best to try to get through here cleanly. While collecting what I want to collect. Nope, and that's not going to work. Oh, we got lucky. Yep, luckily you do with most instant-death things, spikes and lava and whatnot. If you're kind of in those iframes that occur after you've been hit, you're safe. And we got very lucky there. Because we do want to go on this side where there is an extra life and a second energy tank. So that was very lucky for us. Now we're going to come down here to an area that's really very easy to deal with. Turns black after you kill these enemies, but it's pretty easy. You just go over and then you have to jump here. And we'll have the exact same thing occur. Go over, and then after a few seconds jump. There we go. And that's it. And I forget if it's this screen or the next screen, but we're going to now launch into the second set of these insta-deaths. This one is a little more difficult. We should be able to get through it. There is also an extra life that I'd like to get, but the likelihood of death is high enough that I'm not going to bother. Right there. And you can use Flashman's weapon to, the time stopper to, believe it or not, stop time and get through all this very easily, but we want to save it and be able to use it against Quick Man. For every other enemy in the game, Flashman's weapon does nothing, except for Quick Man. The only enemy that it does any damage to. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's go. I'm not going to deal with this. Alright. We should still be fine. So, let's pop in here. And what we're going to do is take out our time stopper. Quick Man also has this irregular floor. He does a lot of jumping and quickly moving around, believe it or not. So we're going to use the time stopper. It'll sap about half of Quick Man's energy, and then as he's coming down, we'll switch back to our Mega Buster. And similarly, he takes a lot of damage just from the Mega Buster. Most of the bosses do. I would say they are generally fairly easy. A few of them are kind of more glass cannon types where they do a very large amount of damage, but you can still usually get by them pretty easily, as we will see. So the symbol for this weapon is Q, which is the quick boomerang. Turn kind of a pinkish color with that. Let's see where we're going to use it. So we're going to take the quick boomerang and we're going to use it on Metal Man. Or not. There we go. So we have Metal Man here, who wears his little metal blade on his forehead, which is adorable. Got these moving walkways in his area, which you can use the time stopper to stop them. We're going to get our third energy tank, which is nice to have. You don't really need to do it, because you can refill your health afterwards, but I actually like to use the time stopper right here, just because for whatever reason I do a really bad job of trying to get by these dropping little spike pendulums, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. But even if you did, the next area has these guys, which if you're trying to get through here really quickly, it can be difficult, I guess. But they're just never-ending. You know, they never stop spawning, and they just keep giving you items. So even if you are, you know, coming in here injured, it's really easy to just refill, and it doesn't actually present much of a problem. If anything, it's actually a benefit to you. There's no real reason for me to be refilling the time stopper. I'm just doing it because, I don't know, because I'm showing off how easy it is. So let's just continue on, and this is maybe the one area where I hopefully don't get hit because now it stops. And I don't want to have to sit there and farm, but just a nice area to have, I guess. Actually, maybe I will use the time stopper again. There's another area where it's truly not necessary, but can be a benefit to us. This, you probably, maybe can make that jump. I can't. But I think really you're supposed to have another item that we get later that you could use to do this if you have it, but we don't. Let's continue on. Alright. This is where maybe I'll just use the time stopper again just to speed things along and for my own amusement. We'll wait till after this guy, because there's not really enough room to get by. But let's take it back out, and we'll be able to use it here, and just kind of get through this part a little bit faster, a little easier. There we go. And with that, this energy tank we cannot get right now. We would need another item that we don't have, which is fine. We have plenty. We can just go right by these guys. And we have arrived at Middleman's Arena. It's taken out quite easily by the quick boomerang. Now, because of the way he moves, he can be a little tough to hit, but the quick boomerang has, I mean, practically unlimited ammo. So really one of the keys here is just to keep firing. Like, don't try to hit each hit carefully. Just fire pretty wildly, and you'll take him out very quickly. He does have this moving walkway in his room, which every time he sends that flash off, it reverses direction. But if you're attacking quickly, it doesn't matter. He goes down real fast. Nice, it's going much faster than I anticipated. But I think we'll still split it up, just so things don't get too long. So, M, we get equipped with possibly, probably the best weapon in the game, and possibly one of the best weapons in all of the Mega Man series, the Metal Blade. Just extremely useful in a lot of different ways, as we will see probably just in this next stage. So, next up, with the Metal Blade, we are going to attack Woodman. Alright, so, Woodman here is a very nice little forest stage. This first area has a bunch of these bats up there that really you can pretty much just ignore. They just don't do enough for you to bother. They don't move quickly enough. They also honestly move slowly enough that it's kind of annoying to wait and try and take them out. You're better off just going right past them and dealing with it later. Now in here we want to take them out because it's a little tighter of a space. And maybe this will be a good time to show off the Metal Blade. So one of the reasons it is so useful is because it fires off at different angles. We don't really need to use it here, but maybe why don't we just, might as well. You have like 140 shots with it or something like that before you run out. This guy can be a little bit difficult to deal with just because you gotta dodge the fire, but not all that difficult. Now, the one that's potentially hard is this guy here. If you're trying to use the Mega Buster, but with the Metal Blade, we can hit him from back here because it's tall enough. And so we just fire up a couple of these and get through Scott. Let's go back to our regular Mega Buster. Actually, I'm probably going to switch back again in a second. This room is weirdly difficult to not get hit in, just again because of the weird angle that these guys fly at. If you don't go over there, they'll stay like just high enough that it's really hard to get them without taking a hit. Not that they do a lot of damage anyway, but just annoying. Now, again, not really necessary, but you might want to take out the Metal Blade here just to take out these monkeys while they're still down there. But it's not really necessary. We won't bother. Now these birds are interesting because they drop the egg there, which, if you let it hit, they drop a bunch of little baby birds, which isn't that much of a problem, really. But under the right circumstances, can be very frustrating, so it's generally nice to just take them out before they do so. Spawn little beehives. Alright, now, this we definitely do want. Blade. Be able to take this guy out at an angle, and we're going to want it in this next couple of screens as well. The angled shot is probably the thing that makes this the most useful. There are several great things about the metal blade, but that might be number one. Now, there are some enemies that are immune to it, like the little cockatoos that come up on this screen that are pretty annoying. A lot of times the best way to deal with them is to hope that they jump instead of walking right into you. But outside of that, no big deal. Now, Woodman is kind of interesting. In a lot of ways, he's very easy if you can get enough attacks off in time. If you stay all the way kind of on the left side of the screen and try to dodge his leaf shield, then you won't have much time to attack. And the leaf shield actually does a pretty good amount of damage, so you can only take a few of them. And it shouldn't be all that difficult to dodge, but sometimes it just is, the way it moves and how high it is. The timing has to be pretty good. What you want to do is just get close, and then you just keep firing off here. You should. If I didn't get hit by that falling leaf, I would have been able to take them out in one go, but that way you can take them out quickly. So long as you're close enough that you can rapidly fire off the metal blades, you'll take care of them, no problem. And with that, we get Weapon W, aka the Leaf Shield. We get a nice green color. Alright, let's go to the stage select, and actually, we will end things there. When we come up, we will, when we come back, we will deal with the next 4 robot masters, but till then, see ya!